Welcome back to another edition of Music Monday from the podcast Nurture the Mind. I am your host, Cole Poots, and we have yet again another music reaction on this fine, beautiful weekend. And today we are getting into the artist known as Hardy. So he dropped an album called Quit with 2 exclamation points back in July of this year. I've only heard one song off of this album. I think it was like the lead single. I don't know if there were any other singles, but it was called 6 Feet Under, in parentheses, Callie's Song. And it's a great song. I tell you guys that I'm not much into country, although as I have aged, I have learned how to appreciate country. I think it's one of those genres where the thing that they do the best in country is the storytelling. Like, you have to acknowledge that. Hardy was one of those artists that first got me into the genre of country, but this album is set up as a rock album. So I don't know. Hardy is like one of those interesting artists where I think he does a little bit of both. I think he balances country and he balances rock. And he's just kind of like in this very weird middle ground of the two. But I appreciate him because when I started listening to him when his last album came out, which was The Mockingbird and the Crow, it's like half of the album was dedicated to country and the other half was rock. And then I think the first song that I listened to, it had the feature of Jeremy McKinnon on it, you know, the lead singer from A Day to Remember. I'm actually rocking that shirt right now, one of my favorite bands of all time. And Hardy says in that song, I think it's called Radio Song, and Hardy's like just acknowledging, you know, the cliches that exist and are true in country. Whereas, you know, you see like a lot of the songs in country, they're talking about the same thing: a truck bed, a dog dying, and drinking beer. And I think that's what turns off a lot of people. But like I said, I have found a new appreciation for country. I understand what this genre does very well, and I very much appreciate it, and it has definitely hooked me. And I very much like Hardy as an artist. So I'm excited to get into this project because I really liked The Mockingbird and the Crow. It wasn't just Radio Song, you know, because of Jeremy McKinnon, although that's what got me into him. That's what pegged my curiosity. There was a lot of good songs on there, like the one that he did with Lainey Wilson, Wait in the Truck. There's a song on there with Morgan Wallen called Red that's really good. Like, I enjoy this guy as an artist, and I've waited a while to actually get into this project, so we'll see what it has to offer. Like I said, I've already heard one song, so I'm just going to start from the top. I don't know if I'll do 2 songs today. I'm at least going to get one in. So let's start with the title track for the album, Quit, with 2 exclamation points, 2 minutes and 47 seconds. It's a quick hitter, but let's see what we got. Yeah, this doesn't sound like country so far.
Somebody wrote quit on a napkin. I took it out of my tip jar laughing. Like, damn, what an asshole, man. I'm just a flat broke boy with a guitar asking for anybody to pay attention. It's not like anybody paid admission. I was just wishing somebody would listen. Give me a shot, and I ain't talking about Canadian Miss them. Florida, Georgia put me on the map. Oregon put me on the track. Fucked around and pinned a couple hits. Chucked them out to see if they react. Talked about the way I life will live. All the things that country life will give. It's like I never left my neighborhood, but I burned out of it and it turned out good if you ask me. But shit, I hate to go, I'm the black sheep. Hell bent to find closure, I can't let go. And know somebody broke like 10 years ago. Put a chip on my shoulder. And if you wanted me to quit, you should've saved it, bro. If you don't wanna start shit, don't say it. And when it comes to the king, that's the radio. If you don't like my shit, don't play it, I don't give a fuck. I'll still book arenas and fill them up. I'ma still keep singing songs about drinking and fit the Jack V, throwing up, then waking up alone in my truck. I heard the voice of God.
There's the truck.
He said, keep going, boy, it's all alright. I'm gonna bless your soul. So one day down the road, you'll be looking in the mirror like I won that fight. So before you choose hate, get to know a guy. He rounded up the poet that was born to fly. He rounded up the man of the people. Damn, what a scene. A redneck glorified with a stack of awards on a napkin. A bored little bastard wrote to try to warn a guy. Maybe I'm just petty, cause they're just metal. Wait, then again, so am I.
Okay, Hardy. Damn, son. That was a cool build-up. Listen to that. Instrumentation. Beautifully done. Oh, bro, I love the subtle outro. You can just tell that the song is drifting to an end. That's how you close a song. Okay. Dude, that was a great track. That is a great way to start an album. I don't know if the rest of the album is going to fit into that theme, but obviously like this song, title track of the album, you know, fits the artwork. It's the napkin that he is referring to is the album cover, is the album artwork. It's basically just his story, man, of how he got started, where he came from. He didn't mention where he was working at, but he was working somewhere, and some person wrote, you know, the dream that he was pursuing, which was music. They wrote on the napkin, hey, you need to quit, you need to give it up, it's not worth it, you're not gonna make it, you're not a big shot, you don't have the talent, you don't have the drive. And, you know, basically that was enough motivation for Hardy to keep going. He says later on in the song that he put this chip on his shoulder, you know, and he can't let this moment go. In a way, you know, he thinks like, okay, you know, it might be petty, but at the same time too, like, you gotta find little things like that you attach to as motivation, as drivers towards success. There's a podcast that I listen to quite regularly, I mean every single week, and it's called Real AF, and basically the guy that does the podcast is an entrepreneur, and he's been doing entrepreneurship for about 25 years. He actually owns and started this company, First Form, that I always talk about. You know, I'm a legionnaire for First Form. But on his podcast, I mean, he's got different shows within the actual show, Real AF. They have one show where they cruise the internet and they talk about things that are going on in the world. Then there is Q&AF, where you, the viewer, can send in questions, and usually it's about self-improvement. Sometimes it's about things that are going on in the world. And then Andy and DJ will talk about it. They'll answer usually like 3 or 4 questions and, you know, give their perspective on it just based on, you know, their experience, Andy's experience of 25 years in business. And then there's some other formats. But anyways, the gist of it is I have heard Andy talk about this idea time and time again, and I very much relate to it, and I think it definitely fits into this song and what Hardy is saying, which is basically that I don't think it really matters what domain it is. Like if it is music, if it's sports, if any of us out here, for me, podcasting, YouTube, music reactions, trying to generate some type of momentum, whatever avenue you choose, especially when you first start, you know, if you're moving away from your old friend group, you know, your family, like all the people that knew you growing up, you know, a lot of them are pretty complacent and are stuck in a fixed mindset. So those people are never going to understand, you know, what you're trying to do or what you're trying to accomplish. So, of course, you know, they're going to criticize. And that's not even bringing up haters, because haters is a completely separate topic. But, you know, we could probably put these people into the category of haters. But the main point being is that, you know, once you try and move away from all of that and you try and accomplish something and you try and do something that is valuable in your life, like pursuing an avenue of music, you know, people are going to come after you. It's going to make them feel very uncomfortable about their own situation. They're going to be like, wow, look at this person who is striving to be better, is trying to accomplish something, is trying to make a name for themselves. And it makes those people feel bad internally about themselves because they're not doing anything. Like I said, they're complacent. They're stuck in this fixed mindset. And so Andy always says that, like, you gotta, it's not necessarily personal digs at you when you get things like that, when you get comments like that, when people write quit on a napkin. It's not that it's a personal thing. Again, it's more of a reflection of who that person is. So it's like, it's not necessarily a personal attack, but you have to consciously choose to take it as a personal attack. And that doesn't mean that you go and, like, you punch them right in the fucking face and knock them out to the point where they're sleeping on the floor and they're freaking, snoozing. But kind of like Hardy is laying out in this song is, I took it personal. That may sound petty, but it's the thing that drove me forward. And that's what Andy says, is like, you got to take those comments, all of those moments. Andy says that about his upbringing when he was starting business. He's like, I can't tell you how many times I had comments that were similar to that. And he's like, I chose to use it as a driving, as a motivating force to kick my ass into high gear. So now all these years down the road, hey, look, I've been doing this for 25 years. I didn't give up. I have a massive company. I have a massive impact on the world. I have a massive blueprint, in the industry that I'm in. And now I can take those people's words and I can shove it down their fucking throats, because obviously they were wrong. And they didn't realize that they were doing me a big service by talking that shit, by saying that one thing. That's what kept me going. Anytime that I wanted to quit, anytime that I wanted to give up, I would go back into my mind and I would think about that comment. I would think about that word that was written on the napkin. And it's essentially, just choosing to take things personal, bearing that weight on your shoulder, but using the dark side energy to keep yourself going. I'm a firm believer in it. It's, again, that's why I say it fits into every domain. It could be business, like I'm talking about with Andy Frisella. It could be in music with Hardy, and then you think of a guy like Kobe Bryant, who operated off of the dark side energy. He took things personal. He made enemies out of his opponents when he was on the floor. Obviously his skill set was amazing, and, he had practiced at that. He had done that for years. So that was part of his own doing. But to give him that extra competitive edge is he would go out on the court and basically look at people and be like, I want to fucking murder you. Obviously, I'm not going to actually do that, but I'm going to murder you in the game that we're playing, which is known as basketball. I'm going to score a bunch of points. I'm going to hassle you on defense so you can't get anywhere. And so I think no matter where you're at in life, what you're trying to do, what you're trying to pursue, it's good to have that energy that Hardy has on this song. Make it personal. Make it personal so it can drive you to success. You're going to get very far in life if you can operate off of the dark side energy. Now, there would be a caveat to that where I would say it's not something that you want to have consume you. So, like, you don't want to be always operating from that place, because at some point I think that could be very draining. But just in the context of what we're talking about, getting started, pursuing a path, following a career, I think it is so valuable to have people fuck you over or talk shit to you or be demeaning to you, because it is one of the greatest sources of motivation. And obviously Hardy has used that to his advantage. This is just such a good song. The way that he lays it out, it says it's a rock album. He does a little bit of country, he does a little bit of rock, but I can see the storytelling. He paints the picture the entire time, leading you up to that breakdown where he's talking about heavy metal, and then just the heavy instrumentation comes in there. I like that song. I thought that was a great song. It sucks that it was, fairly short at 2 minutes and 47 seconds, but it's a great way to open up the album. And probably for him, when he was making it, it just feels like a defining moment. So much so that he called the album Quit. And he has the napkin as the artwork, and then he made a whole song about it as well. Yeah, dude, I really have no complaints about that song. I thought it was so fucking good. Only complaint, I guess, like I said, is I wish it wasn't so short. I wish it was a little bit longer. But I think just because that felt fairly short, I'm going to listen to one more song, which would be track number 2, like just go straight into it. And this one is called Rockstar. So does he look at himself as a rock star now? Country star? A little bit of both? I don't know. I want to hear Hardy's interpretation of what it means to be a rock star. You know, because it makes me think of good old Nickelback. They had a song called Rockstar. If you're a big band, if you're a big artist, like, you got to have one song where you're talking about being a rock star. You really have to embrace that identity, that persona, this character that you're trying to be in, which I think Hardy is a pretty authentic dude. I'm not saying that he's playing some type of character, but anytime you're an entertainer, you're in music, you kind of have to build up an image of who you are. I mean, that's in part why people come to your shows and listen to your music. So let's hear about Rockstar, man. A little bit longer, 3 minutes, 14 seconds. Give it a listen.
Everybody's got a song called Rockstar, running up the pop chart, talking all the shit they do.
Everybody's got a song called Rockstar. I called it. He just said Nickelback. Give it up, Hardy.
Good run for a lucky redneck, but I still got a box to check, 'cause everybody's got a song called Rockstar on it.
That's where he sounds like country, like his voice. Again, send it off and close out the track. Oh, shred it. Shred it on the guitar. Some growling in there. Oh, brother. Another good song. I don't know. I mean, I think Quit still kind of takes the cake for me. Just the storytelling. But this is a cool song. It's meaningful to the story of Hardy. He's talking about the transition and just like realizing how big he is, how impactful he is, how he's become this rock star this larger than life musician, artist, celebrity, but hopefully that's nothing that's like actually going to change who he is. But he also just wants to celebrate the fact, man, like, you know, some of the people that he listened to growing up, like Nickelback, he wants to make his own song where he's talking about being a rock star. What'd he say? He ran into that kid, and that kid was talking about how he went to this party, was playing one of his songs, and everybody sang along. God, that must be an incredible feeling to have as a person, right? To just walk out into public and you get comments like that on a daily basis. I'm sure it gets tiring at points too. You know, I don't know if I would want that type of life. I don't know if I would want to be exposed like that all the time to people, everybody knowing your name. You know, I think probably famous people at some point, they get a little tired of it because it's like everybody knows who you are. You don't have a sense of privacy anymore. But at the same time, too, it's beautiful to know that people are resonating with your music. They're connecting with your music. You know, it feels authentic to them. They want to tell people about it. They want to spread the positivity. They want to spread the message. That is so fucking cool. And I know at the end of the day, like, he's living out his dream, and that's what he's essentially depicting in the song. And so, yeah, man, I really respect what Hardy does. I think every new song that I listen to by him just gives me a deeper appreciation for the man and who he is. And these first two songs, Quit was probably a little bit more serious than Rockstar, but they sound so good. It's such a good flow. He's such a good artist. He knows how to progress a song, you know, to like hype it up to reach that climax, but he also knows how to bring it down and then end the song properly. And then on top of that, you have his writing skills, the storytelling. I mean, he's the whole package, man. He's everything that you could wish for. So, yeah, man, these first two songs I have thoroughly enjoyed. You know, technically 3 songs I've listened to off of the project with Callie's song, 6 Feet Under. So there's 13 tracks in total, so I got like 10 more to go through. I don't know if I really need to do a deep dive into the lyrics or anything like that. It's just cool to see people living out their dreams, you know, because I obviously have my own aspirations. I have my own dreams with like YouTube and the podcast, and I feel like, you know, that might happen one day, like I was just talking about with Hardy, where he goes out into public and he's recognizable by everybody. I have to face that reality or that possibility that could happen, you know, if this channel continues to blow up. It's like, dude, that might happen to me. And I don't even know what that adjustment period would look like. It would be weird. It would be weird for sure. But yeah, guys, that's the reaction. That's the review. Thank you guys for coming over and hanging out on the channel as always. It's always fun. Always enjoyed doing this. Never a dull moment on the channel. As we depart, just some, you know, checklist items that I always hit. If you're new to the channel, or even if you've been coming back, if you're subscribed, 4 things that I ask that you guys do. If you aren't subscribed, please subscribe to the channel. Number 2, what is number 2? Can you guys remind me? I'm spacing. Well, you can like the video, especially over here on YouTube. Number 3, you can comment in the comment section below, like especially with this Hardy one that we just did. Guys, give me your experience with Hardy. How did you find this man? What do you like about him? Like, let's generate a conversation. I want to hear from your guys' experience too. And then number 4, please share the message, share the video, whatever. You know, you can do it on social media, or you can talk about it with other people, especially if you thought it was good content, if you got value from it, if you thought it was entertaining. And then, like I said, you know, First Form Legionnaire, you guys should definitely go buy some of their products, whether it's from my links or if you actually go to one of your grocery stores. Like I go to Hy-Vee because I'm here in the Midwest in Iowa, and they got the First Form energy drinks. So I think there's like 6 different flavors typically. There's some other flavors online that they don't sell in store. But then they also have their protein bars there, and they have their meat sticks. So that would be a great way to support this company, support this brand. They stand for American values and hard work, and they're just a bunch of good people. I mean, shit, dude, if I wasn't doing personal training, I would think about working for this company, going down to Missouri. And then the last little thing that I'll say, you know, it's I've seen these comments and, you know, a lot of my reactions. I think this is probably the only criticism really that I get on the channel is just, you know, trying to fix the audio and maybe some editing techniques. So I'll just lay it out for you guys so you know. Like, I record on my iPhone because I don't have a special camera or anything like that. And then basically the way that the music is being played is it is coming out of my computer. My Mac is like right here. And so I don't do headphones. You know, there was a guy or somebody on there that was talking about, you know, people won't take me seriously if I'm not wearing headphones. And I understand him to a degree. Like, yeah, you might hear some more like specific things if you have the headphones on. I don't disagree with that, but more so it's like I've seen some big channels where the guys, girls didn't have headphones on. I still catch a lot. And for the fact of the matter, like that guy was saying, you know, that I'm not actually really trying to hear the music. It's like, what are you talking about, bro? I think he's probably only seen one video on my channel. Like, if you go back and you look at all my videos, like, you guys know if you've been over here for a while, I'll take a 3 or a 4 or 5 minute song and then I'll dissect it for like 25-30 minutes. So what do you mean, bro, that I'm not trying to listen to the music and get all the nuances? I feel like I'm one of the people on YouTube with all the other people that I'm competing with doing music reactions. I feel like I'm one of the only ones that actually takes it seriously, that tries to like really digest everything that I hear. Now, that's hard to do on a first listen. And I've said that so many times too. I'm going to miss a million things because I'm in the moment. I'm just whatever I can pick up on. You know, maybe my brain's all over the place. Maybe I'm having a hard day. Maybe I have had a hard week and it's somewhat hard to pay attention. So I get what he's saying about the headphones, although I don't think that solves everything. And I feel like I do a pretty good job of trying to dissect everything. There's been times where on reactions where I go back and listen a second time, or you'll see me pull up lyrics after I've listened to the song to just get a deeper context. So I don't know. I'm all for like constructive criticism, but like, I don't know. I think some people either take it too far or don't even really realize what they're saying. Like, I don't think they've consumed enough of my content to come after me like that. Very simple setup. And actually, dude, you know, you see the microphone right here. This fucker, half of the time, shit doesn't even work. So it's actually, this sounds bad, but it's more here as like a prop. But like when it is working, when I'm able to get it all synced up, recording audio that goes to when I just strictly post the podcast, because the video version obviously goes on YouTube, but then I have my podcast, Nurture the Mind, and I use these music reactions as quote unquote a podcast. And so that's where the audio would come from. Even though I went to college for sports communication and I know about some of these things, I really don't know how to make the audio sound more crisp or to do different styles of editing. Like, when I got into this, I thought it was going to be fairly simple, just with my background and my experience and knowing just a tad bit, you know, just the surface level about audio and editing and recording. I'm like, okay, I got a computer where I can play music. I now have a microphone, or you would think hypothetically I could record audio, and then I have the camera, the phone, to get the video portion. And so that's just what I stuck with. So I apologize, you know, to the people that think that it sounds like shit. I guess I don't know. I don't know what to compare it to because, again, this is not my expertise. The only thing that I can say with true fucking confidence is that I am going to work on it. I am trying to reach out to other people in the business that know a little bit more about that stuff, that can actually help me, that can coach me, or like, dude, I would be willing to hire somebody, you know, to like take care of all that stuff so I don't even have to think about it. But you guys know that I just got monetized. So it's like I'm not even making a shit ton of money on YouTube, and then I have my full-time job. And so attention gets pulled in all different directions. And this is not like an excuse or anything. I'm just saying, like, you have to bear with me. Like, I don't have experience in this. I'm learning as I go. And yes, I've been doing this for, you know, almost 5 years now, but I've gotten a lot of attention on YouTube in the last year. You know, I finally reached 1,000. I've been doing this for a while. So there's going to be adjustments along the way. There's going to be growing pains along the way. The hard thing for me, just like I'm saying with Hardy, like, you're doing these things, you're making yourself vulnerable, you're putting yourself out there for other people to view it. So if it's the audio's bad, the editing's bad, whatever, it's not just like one person sees it or it's in closed corridors. It's like everybody sees it, you know. Ton of people see it. Not saying like I'm super popular or anything just yet, but for the 1,000 plus subscribers that I have, if they're all watching each and every video, like, they're going to pay attention to those things and those details. And so I've always said, and said here recently, I'm confident in the content that I create. I think my content is top notch. I think my ability to critically think and dissect these music selections is kind of what separates me from the pack. And a lot of reactioners don't necessarily have that. Like, they have all the technical stuff of the audio and the editing and sound and all that stuff. And so I feel very confident in my abilities because all of that stuff I'll be able to learn or pick up on the back end or hire somebody to do it. So please bear with me. I'm tired of like talking about this stuff. You see it in the comments, and sometimes it kind of eats you alive. I just want to let you guys know that I am dedicated to fixing that and giving you guys the best quality product content that's out there. I want to take this to the next level. I know 1,000 was a big benchmark for me in terms of subscribers, but I would like to continue to climb, man. And so that's my pledge to you guys. That's where I can get better. I will be better. Be patient. We're going to figure this out. Going to get it taken care of. Again, if they're between the two things that I talked about, the content and then all of this other like technical skill stuff, I'd rather have the content be great first as like the foundation and then work on this stuff on the back end, you know, because I don't know. I think if it started with the technical stuff, but you didn't have that ability to communicate to people, to dissect things, to really analyze things, it's going to be hard, or it's going to take a lot longer to develop that ability, that skill. So I love you guys. Long rant, long talk, but that's what we do here. We don't keep it short. I love you guys. Thank you for coming over here. And I will see you guys on the next reaction, the next video. Take care. Bye-bye.